So I did some research and found some amazing YouTube channel interviews about Lisbon and seeing other people of color who were experiencing the best time of their lives there. It inspired me. So that's when the plan started for me to come to Portugal. And I did that in 2021, August 2021. And I just fell in love with the city. And here I am.
Welcome to Distinctly You, where we talk to women who have redefined success at different seasons of change. Today, I'll be chatting with Korra Juliana, who is a world traveler and founder of the sisterhood community for global and local sisters called Happy in Sisterhood. What does it take to live life unapologetically on your own terms, like Korra? Well, let's get into that conversation. Hi, Korra, and welcome to Distinctly You.
Hi, Sharifa. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm excited.
Korra, I had the pleasure of meeting you over the summer while I was visiting Lisbon, Portugal. And I just remember seeing you on that dance floor, dancing your bachata, and just saying, wow, this woman, she's living her best life, like right now. And when we had the opportunity to chat and have a conversation, just meeting you really resonated with me, and your story really stuck with me. And I really feel like it's something that everyone needs to hear and needs to know who this amazing woman, Korra Juliana, is.
Well, you met me at my element because I love dancing. When I dance, it's like this energy flowing through me. I'm the happiest when I'm dancing. And it was great meeting you, and we really connected. We had some things in common. So, yes, I'm excited about sharing my story and it's conversing.
Well, awesome. And thank you again. I actually wanted to start by asking, what brought you to Lisbon, Portugal in the first place? How did you get to Lisbon?
Yeah, well, if you would ask me, if you had asked me like 5 years ago, if I would be right now in Portugal, I would have told you, no, I mean, Portugal, why? It would have never even crossed my mind. But a few years back, right before the pandemic, I got divorced and went through a very difficult period of my life. My mother had Alzheimer, and she was my biggest cheerleader. She was the strong woman in my life that always had my back. So losing her was like, she was like dying a little bit every day for 12 years. So that was a very difficult period of my life. And she passed away before the pandemic. But all of that during the lockdown, divorce. I got divorced before the lockdown. We were together 23 years, married 19. So it was a long time. And in the lockdown, I couldn't continue my business because I'm from a small island. I'm from a Dutch island in the Caribbean called Curacao. 160,000 people, so it's very small, but tourism is very important. So back then I had just started a restaurant where most of or a big portion of our clients were coming from abroad, were tourists. And that all had to stop. And I had another consulting firm that also couldn't continue during that time. So it was a difficult period. And in the lockdown brought so many blessings in retrospect. One of them is the gift of time to think. And I was thinking during that time what it is that I wanted to do with this next phase of my life. And I knew my daughter was in her senior year of high school, so she was going to go to the Netherlands to pursue her studies, to go to college. So I figured, I don't have much holding me back anymore on the island because I was the only child. My parents passed away. I said, you know what? I'm just going to gift myself a sabbatical. And I want to do that in Europe so I would be closer to my daughter. But I did not feel like being in the Netherlands because there the weather is not, it's not a kind of environment where you want to spend a lot of free time in. So I did some research and found some amazing YouTube channel interviews about Lisbon. and seeing other people of color who were experiencing the best time of their lives there, it inspired me. So that's when the plan started for me to come to Portugal. And I did that in 2021, August 2021. And I just fell in love with the city, and here I am.
Wow. Just kind of hearing a little bit about your background in terms of what you went through that made that decision for you or helped the decision for you to move to Lisbon and seeing you now, it's hard to believe you went through that. And just this, you brighter than life and just so excited and full of life. How do you feel that everything you experienced, as heartbreaking and hard as it was, how has that impacted the way you live your life right now?
I think especially my mother's illness, Alzheimer, made me realize that the only moment that counts and that is real is now, is the present. Because everything that she knew at a certain point no longer existed in her reality. And she was no longer preoccupied with what was to come. It was just living day by day, moment by moment. And I realized this is where I have to make a difference. It's my now is important. I have to enjoy the best I can of my life at this moment because nothing is guaranteed. And on top of that, the COVID also made us realize that the future is not guaranteed. So we may plan a lot of things, we may wish a lot of things, but some things are out of our hand and can change your life completely. So the best that I can do is live in this present moment and enjoy my life to the fullest as much as I can. And that's what I've been doing, really.
And you really have been doing that. I witnessed it personally firsthand. And anyone who, for those of you who get a chance to watch this podcast via video, can see it on you as well. And I guess my next question for you has to do with the fact that you came into Portugal, into Lisbon specifically, for a time of sabbatical, a time of reflection, and a time of, going into that next phase and that next chapter of what's next. But you actually ended up building a community while you were there. So when you do things, Korra, you don't do things small. So talk to us a little bit about this community that you started and how it came about.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when I decided to move to Portugal, a lot of people were asking me, but you're going by yourself. You don't know anyone. You're going to a foreign culture. You don't know if you're going to be welcomed. You don't have a support system. But something in me, it was like a gut feeling. Something was pulling me towards Portugal, pulling me towards making, the step to find out. And when I came to Portugal, I realized I was not alone. There were so many other women, especially women, being drawn to Portugal, being drawn to Lisbon, the same way I was. Not really rational. So, because it's not a place that you would think, I'm going to start a new life, a new career, because it's, just so prosperous here and there's so many opportunities. It's still a relatively poor country, one of the poorest countries in Europe, but it's a gut feeling. Something really draws you to here. Like there's a reason we have to be here. And yeah, after the lockdown, there were not that many opportunity for people to connect in person. So after a few months, I met with this lady who became a friend now, and the co-founder of our community. She's from Germany, and she had posted online in a different community on Facebook saying that she just arrived in Lisbon and she was living in the same or staying in the same area where I was living at the time. And she just wanted to see who would like to meet her for a coffee. And I was the first one to react. And the next day when we met, we started talking. I realized, wow, this is another, woman that took the courage and decided just to stay in this beautiful country. And that's how I realized there are many women on the same path from all corners of the world, and I'm not kidding you. I mean, from all corners of the world, from Asia, from South America, from Pacific, everywhere, from Africa. So I felt I wanted to do something with women. I felt I wanted to be of value. Although I was in a sabbatical, I wanted to start exploring what my next phase in life was going to be, because I've always been an entrepreneur. And one of the businesses I had on the island was as a wellness consultant. So a lot of my clients were females, were women. So I wanted to explore what else I could do for women around, in the community. And that's how we decided, let's start organizing gatherings, events only for women to see, just to meet and talk. And maybe from that, I could get also more inspiration and more connections. And that's basically how it's called Happy in Lisbon. That was the initial name, Happy in Lisbon Sisterhood, how we started. It grew. We started the first meetup only with about 30 women showed up, which for us was a surprise because we were expecting maybe a handful. But from there, we realized there is a big demand for other women who also want to connect and also want to share their stories and learn from another. And that's the beginning of a community, which now we have over 10,000 women all over the world who in one way or the other are connected to Lisbon, or are either living here or are in the process of moving to Lisbon, and want to connect with other women. So yeah, that's basically how it started.
Wow. I mean, that is so inspiring how you listening to your gut and saying, I want to travel to this country where I don't really know anyone, but I just have a feeling like I need to be there right now. And then taking action and actually doing it without knowing anyone, and then just putting yourself out there and now building a community of almost 10,000 women. Wow, Cora,
Yeah.
impressive. I mean, that is really impressive. Do you think that everything that you're doing right now, I mean, what is your feeling of the word success? Yeah, because success comes in different ways and different formats. And I just feel like that story right there hits the word success out of the park. But how do you define success?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because I realize success means different things to different people. And to me, I'm not yet where I want to be. It's still like a work in progress. But success is also a feeling that you've accomplished something that's fulfilling, something that brings you joy, that makes you proud of yourself, and that is meaningful. So it's not the typical maybe definition of success for somebody that has so many accolades or so many figures on their bank account, or are CEOs of big corporations, or have become successful entrepreneurs. I think it's more of a feeling also. And in my case, it's something I'm all constantly working towards. It's not one thing. It keeps changing and it keeps evolving, and I keep looking for more things to add and more ways to get that feeling. But what I do have is a sense that at the end of my life, I want to look back and see, you know, wow, I've lived a really, really awesome life. For me, that is the ultimate success, because you can have success today and something changes, and then you feel like, oh my God, I lost what I had. So it's not one stage. I think it's the sum of everything. So it's a continuation. So that definitely, that is how I see success. Yeah.
I could not agree more. I definitely agree with you. I truly do believe as well that as long as you have breath in your body and you're living, we should always be growing and evolving, and success continues along with that as well. So I definitely concur with that. You know, what you know now, and having been through all you've been through now to this very point, is there something you wish you knew sooner that you maybe would have told your younger self, or maybe even your daughter right now?
One thing that I have realized is you don't have to do everything on your own. I mean, I'm an only child, so I think I've always had that in me. Like, I need to do things on my own. I need to prove myself, and especially as women, you know, you have the extra you know, baggage on your shoulder, saying like you need to prove to the world that you can, that you are valuable. So you try to do everything on your own and make things happen. And as I've gracefully arrived in them at my mid-age stage of my life, I realized you don't have to do everything on your own. It's so much better when you share it, when it's a shared journey, and there are so many people around you that want to share. As long as you open up and ask and be vulnerable, you don't always have to be strong. And for me, this period of sabbatical in the beginning was very difficult. People think that maybe taking a long vacation, that sabbaticals is like that. It's only nice, and it's not. It's truly a roller coaster because you have so much time to think and be with yourself that you start questioning a lot of things. So it's also a period when I think, yeah, what am I doing? What have I done? Have I made the right decisions? And all these questions. But it's through talking to people, through my sisters, to people that I've met, and not only women. I've met wonderful men, friends. I made a lot of nice male friends that have helped me realize, no, you are on the right path, and there's no one way for everyone. It's different for everyone, and there's different stages in life. So, just talking and sharing and being vulnerable. Um, made me realize, yeah, I don't have to do it all on my own. And it's okay. It's okay sometimes to wonder. It's okay sometimes to get lost. It's okay sometimes to not know. And I know my friends, every time I talk to them and I tell them, oh my God, I'm still not sure if I'm doing the right thing. I'm still not sure if I'm on the right path. And they keep re reiterating that it's okay. And just that is, to me, a beautiful gift. Having people in your life that can give you that reassurance and make you feel whatever you do, you will be okay, and you're not alone. You're supported. So that's one thing that I would tell my younger self. You don't have to do it all alone.
Wow. I really, really, really like that, Cora. And I think I too, as I'm getting older, I realize just the importance of relationship, the importance of having a sisterhood, and the importance of surrounding myself with like minded individuals. So I definitely concur with you. And I think it's something that some people just naturally do early on, but some of us, it takes us a little time to get there. And so I really, really resonate with what you just said. So thank you for sharing that. I am curious to know, though, you know, during your stay in Portugal, at what point in time do you have a memory or maybe a story? Did you feel like, huh, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be?
Well, yes. I mean, there are many times, many moments, but one of the things that I love most about Lisbon is that I can feel my heart again. It's a place for some reason, and I cannot put it maybe in the right words, but it's a place where I can breathe. So when I arrived, the funny thing is, when I arrived, my first impression was like, it's an old city. It's not beautiful in the aesthetic way, to be fair, to be honest. Um, but there's an energy here that I really, really like, that makes me, feel relaxed, that I can breathe. And when I share this with one of the ladies in our community, and she's a medium, she is intuitive. She explained to me that Portugal is currently also in a transitional phase. It's growing. Also, Portugal has gone through also, if you know the history of Portugal, they were conquerors. They took a leap of faith, went out and did bold things, and discovered. And among the discoveries that they did were also things that were quite dark. Um, they started, for instance, slavery was a very important economic pillar for the growth of Portugal, which is something that, of course, history shows that nothing lasts. So for them as well, after that period of abundance and economic growth and prosperity, there came another period where things crumbled, and it completely changed. And they've been going through a lot of hard, you know, moments and throughout their history. But now they're also transitioning into a more positive light. Things are slowly changing. So Portugal is drawing people to it that are also in their own lives going through transitions. And that's what is being like a form of a magnet, drawing so many people from all over the world that are exploring new possibilities, that are growing. And that resonated with me. So it was kind of like an aha moment for me, because I understood then why it was that I was feeling drawn towards Portugal, and why others that I encountered and that I meet share the same sentiment. They also feel the same. It's it's a part of a transition that we're all going through. So energy matches with energy. So whether it's people with people, or places with places, or people with places, energy, it's, connects energy.
Wow. That's a deep story, and I really appreciate that. You're absolutely right when you talk about seasons. So it's not even just seasons in our lives, but just even looking at it from a country perspective and saying, here are the seasons that this country has been in, and this country is in a season that's attracting other people in similar seasons as well. So that's a really interesting way to look at that, and I can see that actually, as you say that. And so, what's next for you? I mean, now you have this vibrant community, you're living your best life, dancing your heart away, in Lisbon. So, what's next?
Well, what's next? Well, like every season, new chapters have to start. So my chapter in Lisbon is about to come to an end as a full-time resident. So I'm getting ready now to move to Amsterdam, to the Netherlands, to be closer also to my daughter and the rest of the family who are living there. But also I feel now I'm ready to start again a new career and rebuild myself professionally. And I want to expand the sisterhood that I started here, because that's going to continue. Fortunately, we have a nice network of sisters that will remain here in Portugal. So, but I can take it on. We already started one in Madrid, in Spain. So that was our first chapter outside of Portugal. Within Portugal, we have in several other cities as well. But now I'm going to Amsterdam, and yeah, that's gonna be my new season, my new chapter that I'm about to write.
Well, I'm really excited to hear about that new chapter in Amsterdam. And I will say, I would love to hear if you have any words of advice for any women out there who have always wanted to travel, who have always wanted to do something outside of maybe their local community. It might be another state, if not even another country, but might be scared. What advice would you have for them in terms of taking that first step?
The first thing is, the time is right. This is the time. There has never been a time in our history as the current where so many women are taking a leap of faith and just following their heart and going where they feel they want to go and not out of necessity. So it's not immigrating because you need to find a new job or you're looking for more income. No, this is an era where women are taking their own future in their hands and doing what they feel they want to do. So if you are one of those women that feel like, um, yes, I want something more. I want to explore. I don't need to wait for my friends or wait for my partner to go out and explore with me. Know that you're not alone. This calling is coming to women from all over the world, from all walks of life. And you will meet amazing people on your journey, whether it's in a different state, a different city, a different country, a complete different culture. Do not let that chance or fear hold you back. Take the leap of faith and it will start an amazing adventure. I can guarantee that.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. That's an amazing word right there. But I can't let you leave without asking you, Korra, what makes you distinctly you?
My sense of adventure and my youthfulness. My inner child is still very active, and I try to not listen to what society is expecting from me. What people my age, I just turned 50, so a lot of women my age think it's going downhill from here. I don't listen to that. I just listen to what my gut feeling tells me and play. Just try new things and see life as an adventure and just go and do and create your story because you don't know what tomorrow brings. Just have fun with it. Have fun with it.
I love that. And by the way, no one would ever believe that from an age perspective, because not only do you not look that 50, but you are as youthful, just as you're talking about. You're as youthful as you say, both physically and also in your inwards, because I have met you, I have hung out with you, and you are vivacious and you live in the moment and you are fun. And so, yes, so everything you're saying is so spot on. So, for anyone who wants to learn more about the sisterhood, the community that you started, and learn a little bit more about what that involves, regardless of where they live, how can they find out more about that?
Yes, currently we have a Facebook group called Happy in Lisbon. We will soon change it to Happy in Sisterhood. So, but right now they can look it up as Happy in Lisbon on Facebook and join the group. We're also on the Meetup app, which is very well a platform very much used here in Portugal for events. So there we also called Happy in Lisbon. And those are the two, and Instagram, it's called Happy in Sisterhood. So those are the three platforms where we can connect. And personally, they can find me also on LinkedIn under my own name, Korra Juliana. And yes, they can send me a message. I love meeting people. So reach out, ladies. I'm happy.
Fantastic. We'll definitely put all that information to make it easier for people to find you and find the community, Korra.
Thank you very much, Sharifa. And it was really nice talking to you. Thank you for the invitation. And I look forward to meeting you somewhere in the world again.
Well, listen, it's going to be sooner rather than later. So now I know I've got someone that I can hang out with when next I visit Amsterdam.
Definitely. There we can have fun as well. So
Absolutely. Well, Korra, thank you so much for taking this time out to chat with me. It was awesome as I expected. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
thank you very much, Sharifa.